Now let's start the revision of Central Excise Act 1944. We'll start section by section. There are total 40 sections and we will go one by one. Section 1, let's see. Name of the act is Central Excise Act 1944. It came into effect on 28th of February 1944. It extends to whole of India. So even the state of Jammu and Kashmir में ये act applicable है. Further is extend to designated area in continental shelf and exclusive economic zone up to 200 nautical miles. It means, let's see this, if this is India, in India this act is applicable, there is no doubt, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir, this is applicable, the whole India. Apart from this, in the sea also, up to 200 nautical miles, whatever continental shelf and exclusive economic zones are there, this act is applicable here also. But if any manufacturing activity is carried out beyond 200 nautical miles in the sea, this act will not be applicable. So there is no question of excise duty in this area. Apart from this, high sea beyond 200 no excise duty. Apart from this, there is a CEZ also, special economic zone. Although it is inside India, but for this purpose of this act, it is excluded from the definition of India. So no excise duty in anything if you produce or manufacture in the CEZ. Let's say this is CEZ, special economic zone in India. If you manufacture or produce anything in this CEZ, there is no excise duty. It is excluded from the definition of India as far as this act is concerned. Let's go to the second section, adjudicating authority. Adjudicating authority basically is a central excise officer with quasi judicial functions, but is not a judge. Functions under the act are performed by the CEO, but power to take decisions. So this is the important point. Power to take decision and pass the order rests with the adjudicating authority. So power rises from AC to Chief Commissioner. In this definition, you have to note that all these three bodies are not adjudicating authority. So Commissioner Appeals is not a adjudicating authority. Central Board of Excise and Custom and Custom Excise Service Tax Appellate Tribunal. All these three are not adjudicating authority. These are exceptions. So in short, you can see in short, all the CEO in a department, there are so many central excise officers, CEO, all are not adjudicating authority. There are few who are adjudicating authority. Adjudicating authority has power to take decision and pass the order. असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर से लेके चीफ कमिश्नर तक ये सभी किस में आएंगे, एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी की डेफिनेशन में. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट डेफिनेशन. ब्रोकर और कमीशन एजेंट, पर्सन इन ऑर्डिनरी कोर्स of business makes contract for sale or purchase of excisable goods for other, it is called, he will be called as broker or commission agent. Move to the next. Central excise officer, basically every person in the department will be treated as central excise officer. उसको central excise officer बोला जाता है. Is equivalent to proper officer in the custom. Proper officer custom एक्ट है, वहाँ पे कस्टम में जो भी ऑफिसर्स रहते हैं उनको प्रॉपर ऑफिसर बोला जाता है, और एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट में जो भी ऑफिसर रहेंगे उनको सेंट्रल एक्साइज ऑफिसर बोला जाता है. नाउ सीईओ इंक्लूड्स ACDC to chief commissioner or any other person of the central excise department. So there is no doubt that all the persons who are in the department will be treated as CEO. But apart from this, any other person who has been asked to perform the functions under the act by the board will also be treated as CEO. इसको आप समझ लीजिए. ये एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट में इसके जितने भी ऑफिसर्स हैं all will be treated as CEO. But there is another department of state government or let's say central government. It can be रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट हो सकता है किसी का, या पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट हो सकता है. इफ एनी पर्सन फ्रॉम दिस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के डिपार्टमेंट से एनी पर्सन has been asked to perform certain functions under the act by the board. बोर्ड कौन सा है? कस्टम एक्साइज बोर्ड. तो ऐसे केसेस में ये पर्सन को भी सीईओ माना जाएगा फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. Curing, it's a process that amount to manufacture, hence curer is liable to pay the excise duty. Example, coffee curer. Curing includes following process: wilting, drying, fermenting, any other process which render unmanufactured product fit for marketing or manufacture. इन सभी को क्या माना गया है? Manufacturing. So curing is a process वो normally manufacture नहीं है, but under this act these processes are treated as manufacture, and hence the excise duty will be payable on such manufacture. Let's see excisable goods. All goods which are placed in the central excise tariff schedule 1. शेड्यूल 1 में एक लिस्ट दे रखी है, उसमें सारे गुड्स मेंशन है. ऑल दीज गुड्स विल बी ट्रीटेड एज एक्साइजेबल गुड्स, जिसके ऊपर आपको एक्साइज ड्यूटी देनी पड़ेगी. हाउ just try to understand features. Salt is excisable but mentioned in the schedule 1, because it is mentioned in the schedule 1, so it is excisable goods. But laddus are not covered under the schedule 1, hence these are not excisable. इसका मतलब सॉल्ट शेड्यूल 1 में मेंशन है, इसलिए इसको क्या बोला जाएगा? एक्साइजेबल गुड्स. बट लड्डूस, कचौरी, समोसा, ऑल दीज विच आर बीइंग मैन्युफैक्चर्ड around the India, these are not mentioned in the schedule 1, so these are not excisable goods, no excise duty. Goods not defined under the act. ये जो गुड्स की डेफिनेशन है ये एक्ट में नहीं दी गई है, बट एज पर द जुडिशियल प्रोनाउंसमेंट्स it must be movable and marketable. So anything which moves or which is marketable, you can call it as a goods. Both condition must be satisfied. Actual, now we will see a few important points about this. Actual sale is not necessary. It is enough that it is sellable, that is it has a market. Again, mere sellability is not enough. There should be a wholesale market for that goods. Finance Act 2008 added following explanation. इसके ऊपर बहुत डिबेट हो गई है that there should be a wholesale market. Who will decide there is a wholesale market or not? So there was an explanation inserted on 10th of effective from 10th of May 2008. And in explanation it is written that goods includes article, material, substance which is capable of being bought or sold for a consideration. Such goods deemed to be marketable. तो इनको मान लिया जाएगा कि ये marketable है. So if a particular item or substance is capable of being bought or sold for a consideration, such goods deemed to be marketable. तो उसके लिए अलग से wholesale market होना जरूरी नहीं है. Here the word capable जो यूज हुआ है, it means commercially capable. commercial capability की बात हो रही है, लोअर लेवल पे जो capable है सेल का, उसकी बात नहीं हो रही. फैक्ट्री, सेक्शन 2F में 2E में important definition है. Factory, any premises whether registered or not, it may be even a house, including precincts, cycle stand, canteen, क्लब इनसाइड कंपाउंड वॉल. प्रिसिंट क्या होता है ये देख लेते हैं एक बार. सपोज दिस इज अ प्लेस, ये पूरी कंपाउंड वॉल है, यहां पर एक बिल्डिंग है जहां पे मैन्युफैक्चर या प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है. ये जो प्रीमाइसेस है इसको क्या बोला जाएगा? फैक्ट्री. एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, ये जो ओपन स्पेस है जिसको प्रिसिंक्ट बोला जाता है, इस कंपाउंड वॉल के अंदर पूरा एरिया, इसको भी फैक्ट्री माना जाएगा. द होल दिस थिंग विल बी ट्रीटेड एज फैक्ट्री. वेयर एक्साइजेबल गुड्स अदर देन सॉल्ट बीइंग मैन्युफैक्चर, सॉल्ट को यहाँ पे छोड़ दिया है फैक्ट्री की डेफिनेशन के लिए, उसका रीजन है वो मैं आपको बताता हूँ। वेयर एक्साइजेबल गुड्स आर बीइंग मैन्युफैक्चर, तो अगर आपका जो फैक्ट्री है कब बोला जाएगा, जब वहां पर मैन्युफैक्चर और प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है एक्साइजेबल गुड्स का। इफ गुड्स विच आर बीइंग प्रोड्यूस आर नॉट एक्साइजेबल देन इट विल नॉट बी कॉल्ड एज फैक्ट्री। Notes: any place where accessible goods are manufactured will be treated as factory. If goods are not accessible, then the place will not be treated as factory. Salt pans are excluded from the factory definition because keeps on changing, but salt is accessible goods but the rate is nil. यहाँ पे एक फैक्ट्री की डेफिनेशन में जो सॉल्ट का केस है वो देख लीजिए। दिस इज अ सी शोर, सी के बेड पे यहाँ पे सॉल्ट पैंस रहते हैं, पैंस ऑफ सॉल्ट्स। दिस, ये पानी ऊपर आता जाता है, नीचे जाता है, फिर ऊपर आता है, सो दीज आर नॉट फिक्स्ड, दैट इज व्हाई इट हैज बीन एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द डेफिनेशन ऑफ फैक्ट्री की डेफिनेशन से इसको एक्सक्लूड किया गया है। वी विल अगेन सी दैट पार्ट। It's any premises including precinct where excisable goods other than salt being manufactured will be treated as factory. Must be nexus between manufacturing process and production of excisable goods. तो whatever manufacturing process जो हो रही है उससे आपको जो प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, मैन्युफैक्चर हो रहा है, वो एक्साइजेबल गुड्स का होना चाहिए। Every factory need registration under 6. Why the definition of factory important? Because factory need registration under the act. Registration is factory wise and not the owner wise. This is also important. तो एक पर्सन है, उसकी 3 फैक्ट्रीज हैं, लेट्स से 1 2 3 फैक्ट्रीज हैं, तीनों का आपको अलग अलग रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना पड़ेगा even though the owners are same. Again, there is one factory and there are two owners, both are running that, so this is one factory and need registration of one single unit. Every factory need registration. Two machines with different compound wall, each one will be factory. इसको भी समझ लेते हैं। सपोज 2 मशीन है, M1 M2, and both are separated by a compound wall, so code says that both are factories, and need to be registered, both need to be registered. Then we will discuss about the definition of fund. Consumer welfare fund created under section 12. So fund means a consumer welfare fund created under section 12. Refund of custom, excise, service tax is credited to fund, not given to applicant. It is because of unjust enrichment का principle है, unjust enrichment, और because of that unjust enrichment के principle की वजह से whatever refunds जो रहते हैं कस्टम में, एक्साइज में, सर्विस टैक्स में, ये सब के सब रिफंड्स आपके फंड में क्रेडिट हो जाते हैं। मनी इज यूज फॉर वेलफेयर ऑफ द कंज्यूमर, ये फंड में जो भी पैसा आता है इसको वेलफेयर में यूज होता है कंज्यूमर्स के, जनरल कंज्यूमर्स के। इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया विच इज यूज फॉर वेलफेयर ऑफ द ऑल द पब्लिक ऑफ द इंडिया। नाउ वी हैव क्रॉस द डेफिनेशन part of this act, and after that we will study the manufacturer definition.